Hello bookish people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. In today's video we are doing my August TBR. These are all the books I would love to read in the month of August, and then we're going to be picking 5 from the TBR jar. All the books I have here plus 5 picks from here is pretty ambitious, but I really have 2 definitive things on my TBR, and then the rest of the books I have here are basically just like my selections, what I want to pick from throughout the month to read. Because if you look at my TBR videos and then that month's wrap-up videos, like they are never the same. I never stick to a TBR, so now we're just doing like these are my options. These are what I'm going to read from. But let's go over the 2 definitive picks I have for my TBR. They must get read this month. The first one is the entire Carvel trilogy. So really it's like 3 books. So we have Carvel, Legendary, and Finale. I would love to read the whole trilogy this month. And I said last month I was gonna read the Cruel Prince series. Did I do that? No. But I will do it with this series. And the reason is because Once Upon a Broken Heart, that trilogy, the finale is coming out I think in October, and everyone's gonna be reading it. And you know what I have? I have severe FOMO. So I need to read it, which means I would need to read the first 2 books in that series. But people say you need to read this series before you read that series because there's spoilers for Carvel in that series. So that means I have to read the entire Carvel series so I can read those 2 books so I can read the new release. Basically all to cure my insane FOMO. Honestly, I've heard such mixed things about the series. Some people love it, some people hate it. I read the synopsis of it. It seems really interesting to me. I got this box set during Amazon Prime Day for $23. 3 hardcovers, $23. You can't beat the price. I am very excited to read this. The next book on my definitive TBR is kind of in the same vein as this, and that is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. And the reason I say it's kind of similar to me reading Carvel is because The Fragile Threads of Power is coming out in September, but before I read that, I want to read the original Darker Shades of Magic trilogy because The Fragile Threads of Power takes place in the Darker Shade of Magic world. I don't have a physical copy. I had the old covers, but I ended up returning them because I want the new covers. The reason I don't have the new covers yet is because when I have seen them in Target and Barnes & Noble, they are the paperback editions, and I would like the new cover design in a hardback format because I know Fragile Threads of Power is going to come out in hardback. So I don't want paperbacks and then a hardcover. I want them all to be the same format, all with the same cover design. And I'm not sure if I order a hardcover if it will come in the new cover or not, or if they just released those new covers in paperback. So if you guys know anything about that, please let me know in the comments because I really want to order them. I mean, I guess I could just order on Amazon and then return it, but like I rather just order it and know that it is right. Now we're getting into the stack of books that I'm going to be picking from, but they are not a hard set TBR. They're pretty much all fantasy except for 1 book because we're getting into fall time. I consider August fall because I wish fall was longer. The first book we are planning to read this month is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Yes, ACOTAR. I have never read it. We are finally gonna read it, and I am really excited. And honestly, this one's like not too ambitious. It's like 400 pages, so it's definitely super doable to get done this month, even with reading Carvel and Darker Shade of Magic. Honestly, I have absolutely no idea what the series is about. It's like one of those series, you just see it blasted everywhere, but no one really explains the plot because they just assume you know. Well, I don't know. So we're going into this book essentially blind. I haven't even read the back cover yet. So I think blind will be the most fun way to go into this. The next book on my TBR is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. I am so excited to read this book, especially once I found out the premise of this book, because honestly, I added this to my TBR just based on Chloe Gong's name. I was like, oh, Chloe Gong's coming out the new book. Okay, add to TBR. Like, I didn't even research what it really was about, other than it was an Antony and Cleopatra retelling, but I have no idea what that even means because I am not a Shakespeare girl. So in this book, you are following our 2 main characters, and they enter a set of deadly games to win a bunch of money, which really gives me Serpent in the Wing of Night vibes, and I absolutely love that book. I love a good deadly games type of book, a competition to the death, and then you have love interest, and this is the beautiful Fairy Loot edition, so I will be reading my Book of the Month edition, not to mess up these sprayed edges, and I am just very excited for this one. Sticking with the theme of Chloe Gong, I would love to reread These Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends. I am so excited to reread this duology. I read it last year. I absolutely loved it. I read it via audiobook, and now I'm going to be doing a physical read of it, which I think is going to be amazing. Now that Foul Heart Huntsman is coming out, which is a sequel to Foul Lady Fortune, I kind of just want to do a reread of all of Chloe Gong's work because this series leads into Foul Lady Fortune, which I'm going to be doing a reread of that. So why not just reread of all Chloe Gong's stuff at once because I just love her and she makes me happy. The next book on my TBR is another reread, and that is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Now, if you want to read the Harry Potter series and you don't want to support J.K. Rowling, buy it all secondhand. My entire Harry Potter collection has been purchased secondhand from thrift stores, and I have the entire series in hardcover, and they all came from thrift stores. I did not buy any of them new. Not a dime of my money went to J.K. Rowling, and that's the way to do it. If you want to read this classic beloved series and not support her, I really want to reread the first book because we're getting into fall time, and just this is like the perfect fall book. Also, my boyfriend just started playing Hogwarts Legacy, so like I'm constantly seeing him playing it with the ambiance music, and the voice sounds so much like Daniel Radcliffe. I'm just like, oh my god, I want to reread Harry Potter so bad. I'm gonna wait till the end of August to read this book because I think fall time Harry Potter, like there's not a better combination than that. So I'm gonna wait till it feels more like fall time to read this. The last book we're going to talk about from this stack before we get into the TBR jar is a thriller. It's not a fantasy. Surprise, surprise. And that is A Twisted Love Story by Samantha Downing. I am so excited for this new release. I recently read My Lovely Wife, which I'm pointing to it and you can't see it, by Samantha Downing, and I really enjoyed that one. I rated it 4 stars. I really love the synopsis for her new release, and knowing I like her writing style and a previous thriller by her, I just feel like this is going to be a winner. In this book, you're following our 2 main characters, Wes and Ivy, and they are in a very toxic relationship. The highs are highs, the lows are lows, and during one of their lows and during one of the toxic parts of the relationship, someone ends up dead. And now a detective is on their case, and it just sounds so interesting and so much fun. I love morally gray characters, or even just villainous characters like My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. You're really reading from a villain's perspective, and I love that. I think it's so interesting, and I'm very excited to read this. I love a good toxic couple. You throw in some murder, like there we go. That's all I need to be entertained. The rules for the TBR jar is you select 5 out of here, and whatever ones I do not read by the end of the month, I have to unhaul. The first month, I gave myself a bunch of leniency. I only read 2, didn't unhaul any. Actually, that's a lie. I unhauled one of the ones that I did read. Last month, I read 4 out of the 5, and the 5th one, I'm pretty sure I'm comfortable unhauling it because I read the first 20 pages and wasn't really feeling it. Hopefully we get another success, but I already shook it. It's up here, and let's just pick. Let's see what we get. Oh, I'm implementing a new rule as well. Once I select my 5, I am allowed to put 1 back and repick, but I can't like keep doing that. You know, it's just like a one and done type of thing. So let's go for number 1. What are we gonna select for our first book? Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky. This one, I'm actually pretty excited about this one. This book is a middle grade fantasy, and I've heard so many amazing things about this one. Just from what I remember of the synopsis when I originally bought it, you're following our main character Tristan. He has some sort of tragedy. I think one of his friends passes away, and he has his friend's journal. He's in his room at night, and then this weird creature comes and steals the journal. Tristan chases after the creature. They ensue in some sort of fight, and then he accidentally punches a hole in the sky, and then he goes to this like alternate universe, alternate world, and there are these African-American gods there that are in a tight battle, and they need Tristan to help them win the battle, and it just sounds very fun. One fantasy booktuber I love to watch, Prue's Project Reagan, she has read this book and really loved it. My only concern is I have so much fantasy on my TBR. Will I get to this? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna really try. Now for number 2. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, which I picked last month and I read it. See, I threw them back in the jar just in case I don't get to them. But It Ends With Us, I read. So we're gonna officially take that out of the jar. Now for the real number 2. What is the real number 2 gonna be? Okay, I think, oh my god, I lost the one I wanted. Here we go, here we go. I told you this would happen. I had to cut out the part where I pulled this off the shelf because I spoke very high pitched and my voice broke, and I'm just not putting that on the internet. And I am so excited to read this book. In this book, you are following our main character, and her sister is a serial killer, and that is all I'm gonna say about it because anything, even the back of this book spoils the first book. But it's so weird because yes, this is a second book in a series, but the way this book is marketed and pushed at Barnes & Noble, it's almost like it's a standalone. Like they never have the first book in stock. All they talk about is this book. It says on the front, Elaine Murphy, author of Look What You Made Me Do. Not like the first book is in the series is Look What You Made Me Do. It literally just says like, no, this is it. This is a standalone, but it is a spoiler for the first one. I featured this book, you guys, in so many TBRs, but this is the month that we're finally gonna do it. All right, now we are picking number 3. What are we gonna pick for number 3? ACOTAR. I cannot believe I just picked ACOTAR right now because it was already kind of my TBR, but it was in the section of my TBR where it's like, maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't. Well, it looks like now we are definitely reading ACOTAR this month. Okay, number 4. What are we reading for our number 4 book? Oh god, I almost like pushed it off. Okay, the number 4 is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Okay, I'm not going to pick that book off the shelf because that's probably going to be the one we put back. Number 5. What is our number 5 pick? Because, like, you know, hopefully I don't pick another classic because then I'll have a very hard time picking what to put back. Oh god, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. No, no. This one, Spy Family Volume 9. Okay, obviously we're not putting this back. Spy Family Volume 9, we are happy with that. Spy Family, I'm not gonna go grab it. It's all the way over there, but Spy Family is a manga series that I've talked about so many times on this channel. You're following the Forger family. You have Lloyd, who is a spy. You have Anya, who is a telepath and their child. And then you have Lore, who is an assassin. They all basically have these secret identities that they don't know about, except for the daughter, because she's a telepath. She can read the minds, but they are this fake family. It's beautiful and it's fun. And it's a great manga series. We are definitely keeping that one, which means we are putting back The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, which I'm going to put back in the jar after I pick the next one, because I don't want to accidentally pick it for a second time. Taking our time. Let it be a good one. Let it be doable, because I have so much fantasy on my TBR already. Let's pick something doable. Let's pick something good. We are going to pick this one right here, which is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I'm very excited about this one. I did not want another fantasy, but this one is honestly pretty short. This one is right at 400 pages as well. You guys. I genuinely could not have asked for better picks from the TBR jar. I have a feeling this will be a month where I actually complete all of them. I mean, Spy Family, this will be easy to complete. It's short. It's a manga. ACOTAR was already on my TBR anyway, so obviously we're reading it. I have been dying to read this one, but I've been looking at all like the fantasies that I've been wanting to read, like with the sequels coming out, and I was like, there's just no way I'm gonna have time to get to this. Well, guess what, bitch? Now you have time to get to it. I am so excited about Red Rising. This was pitched to me as Hunger Games, but in space, and that just makes me obsessed. I'm very excited. Then we have this one, which has been in my TBR for almost a full year. Very excited to get to it. And we have a great middle grade fantasy, which I love middle grade fantasies. There's something so fun, whimsical, and wholesome about them. I honestly could not have asked for better selections than this. And now I am so excited for August to get here so I can start reading these books. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!